Are you dealing with an unjust attack? Well, then episode 5 of the Wildfire Faith podcast is for you. Sometimes we try to serve and do what's right, and our motives are questioned, and our good intentions are misinterpreted. The very person that should be our cheerleader and come alongside us with support ends up being a critic who hurls a ton of condemnation at us. We feel unjustly attacked and we have no idea how to respond. Do you have someone in your life who's turned into an adversary and now you no longer enjoy showing up to serve where you know God has called you? Years ago, I had a boss who made my life a nightmare. I loved my job, but I was so exhausted from all the ongoing heartache. In my desperation to try to figure out if I needed to just quit my job or try to stick it out, instead, I turned to Proverbs to gain some perspective and some much needed wisdom. I discovered that Proverbs has quite a lot to say about how we respond to unjust leaders in our lives and to people who are abusing their power and authority over us and unjustly attacking us. Exactly what does God have to say about how we should persevere when we face persecution and unjust attacks? Let's take a look at God's book of wisdom together today to give ourselves a reality check. We'll gain 3 things that we can pray to help us to prevail, even when someone's maligning us and trying to make our lives miserable. So, during my season of uncertainty with my difficult boss, I would open up my Bible every day on my lunch hour and read the chapter of Proverbs that corresponded with the day of the month. And on one particular month, on the 22nd day of the month, God and I had a moment. There's one specific verse that seemed to just jump off the page and it ministered to me in the deepest way. I wrote out Proverbs 22:11 on a 3x5 card and I worked on committing it to memory. It became my motto, my theme, my mantra for the rest of the time that I served under this person's leadership. And the guidance it provided literally saved my life and helped turn things around. Here's the wisdom that I gained that day. Proverbs 22:11 says, "One who loves with a pure heart and who speaks with grace will have the king for a friend." These were my marching orders. I didn't need to defend myself. I didn't need to fight with my terrible boss. I just needed to make sure my motives were pure and I was sincere and not holding back in any way. And then I needed to speak with grace to my adversary. I started praying daily for God to help me love this person with a pure heart and to respond to this person with kind, grace filled words. Friends, you and I can gain much strength as we simply just pray, Lord, help keep my motives pure. And may I always speak with grace to this person, even when it's hard. So, are you wondering what else Proverbs has to say about gaining favor with the people that are lording over us in our lives and have authority to impact our future and are possibly attacking us unjustly? Well, I did. And I discovered some more principles that have really encouraged me. Proverbs 16:13 says, "Kings take pleasure in honest lips. They value those who speak what is right." Speaking what's right here means we speak what's right in God's eyes and we communicate with integrity. We don't use our words to flatter someone or to manipulate a situation to our advantage. We say what needs to be said, even when it isn't easy. So, a second prayer that we can commit to praying during a season of unjust persecution is for God to help us to be truthful with our words in a way that our adversary will appreciate. We can speak with integrity and ask God to give our words influence. Now, I found one more principle from Proverbs that can help us know how to respond wisely to an authority or an unjust attack when we're feeling misunderstood or maligned. Proverbs 25:15 says, "Through patience, a ruler can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone." The patience described here in the original Hebrew is a measured response. We need to be women who stay the course and remain undeterred. A wise woman responds with a long fuse and lets God fight her battles. The idea of breaking a bone here in the second half of the verse implies that our gentle words exert great power and can soften and break down even the toughest resistance. So when we're facing opposition and want to overcome, we can pray, Lord, help me to remain patient and give me a gentle disposition that's persuasive with my adversary. I am so incredibly thankful for these three principles that Proverbs has provided this week to help us prevail when we're dealing with an unjust attack. May God help us to love our adversary with a pure heart and to speak with grace. May our truth filled words be received with favor. And may the Lord give us a gentle response and help us to patiently persevere as we wait for that resistance that we're facing to start to soften. So I hope that has encouraged your heart as much as mine. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and that you'll share this with a friend. This is teaching number 5 in our reality check series on Proverbs. But starting on March 4th, we're going to be starting a new series called Shine, and we're going to be doing a daily devotional and study that you can join me on Substack. And so you'll see the comments underneath this video all about the Wildfire Faith community on Substack, and I hope you'll join me. In the meantime, I'll be back next week with our final teaching from this Proverbs series. God bless.